What's up, guys? It is Cowboys post game 2 days later. Sorry for not posting a video right after the game. I was pretty sick. I just took some medication and I was freezing my ass off. But it's finally here, Cowboys post game. I know some of you are pretty excited to see this video, but the Cowboys with a big win to go 1-0, 36-31 over the New York flipping Giants on Sunday night. It's a great victory, spectacular victory, and we are 1-0 in the NFC East. First of all, I want to get started for the high points of the game. The Dallas defense. We forced turnovers, and that was a beauty to watch. We forced 6 freaking turnovers. Marcus Ware with the interception on the first play of the game. I don't think he's had an interception. I think he's probably had like one other interception in his career. But that was pretty tight. But Cowboys defense looked active. Rob Bernardelli, I don't know what he does to the players, but they did this shit in Chicago the last couple of years, and man, that defense was a joy to watch. But one thing about the defense was I think the receivers were still owning us. The secondary still had a little bit of flaws, but I mean they made plays when it counts. But like again, you don't play a Giants receiving corps like Hakeem Nicks, Victor Cruz, and Ruben Randle is up and coming wide receiver for the Giants. So secondary, obviously, when you look on paper, Eli Manning threw a 450 yards, which obviously looks bad on our part, but those receivers are great, and sometimes you just gotta do your best to just contain him or force turnovers. But I mean, great performance by the defense. Obviously, there's always something you can improve on, like the pass rush a little bit. I feel like Eli Manning had a lot of time to throw on some of those passes, but great performance by the defense. Can't wait to see what it does week 2 against the Kansas City Chiefs, which has a more balanced rushing and passing attack with Jamal Charles and Dwayne Bowe, but obviously their pass game isn't as strong. But definitely it's going to be interesting to see each week how the defense progresses and how many turnovers they force every week. But yeah, so and teams that do force turnovers have a history of winning the Super Bowl, like New Orleans Saints in 2010. Terrible defense, but man, could they force turnovers? And maybe we have something that could possibly happen here this year. But let's not think too far ahead. So let's get to another high of the game was Dougie texting me over here. I don't know what that means, but another bright spot of the game was the Cowboys offensive line looked great. Romo had a lot of time to throw, and I mean you can't ask for anything more than that. But the one thing I can't ask for anything more than that. Like on those 2 passes, Jason Witten, man, he was back there forever. And Jason Witten just threw it up at Jason Witten, and Jason Witten just made 2 marvelous catches. But I mean, right now, if the last thing you should do is criticize right now the offensive line because it's looked pretty solid. And with Brian Walters coming in next week, it will definitely even get better than that. And I think Cowboys offensive line will be pretty damn good. And Tyron Smith is just it's just a beast. That's all. And then, what's another high spot of the game? Dan Bailey still kicking kicks pretty good. And let's see what else. There's got to be something. DeMarco Murray looked pretty smooth. It wouldn't go down. Caught the ball real well. Controlled the game. Didn't really get too flashy, but I mean, man. But like, yeah, DeMarco Murray played a great game. There was nothing bad about what he did. I mean, there's really no other bright spots I can really point out right now. But there's a few bads I have, and the bads are the offense. I did not like the play calls. I think Bill Callahan's offense was very conservative. We've had, DeMarco Murray and Miles Austin combined for 18 catches for 122 yards. 122 freaking yards. That's about 6 points. I'm guessing, 2 yards? Somewhere in there. 6.2 yards a catch among those 2 wide receivers. And then Jason Witten had like 8 catches for 70 yards. It was about 8 yards per catch. And then pretty much it was just there's really no big throws down the field, down the big throws down the field, no throws down the middle. And I'm not a big fan of that. I feel like they're playing a little bit of conservative, way too conservative. I guess sometimes that's a good thing because Romo's had his tendency to throw picks here and there, but I mean Sunday night, like there wasn't one play where I thought Romo you felt like there was a pick, just because of the way, our offense was ran. Like it was very sweet and simple. There's no plays that were like risky that would possibly involve a pick. Obviously, he did throw one pick, but I mean it wasn't too much of his fault. Even if it was good that he cut the interception out of his system. But maybe this offense is made for Romo because Romo does like to take a lot of risk, and maybe being a little more conservative and throwing a little 8 yard passes to Miles Austin and 6-7 yard passes to DeMarco Murray all the way down the field will keep us turnover free, but we'll see how that works. But yeah, but I mean, we have Des Bryant, and with Des Bryant, you have to take shots down the field. And in order to win big games, you have to take shots down the field. I mean, it's only one game. Can't really take too much into account for it. Obviously, there's still 15 more games left this season. And obviously, Romo's a gunslinger, and he is going to keep throwing that ball. But I mean, because you can see the second half, he wasn't 100%, but he's a warrior, and he played great. So another not so bright spot was. Did I talk about the secondary? I just think they're wide. Secondary, obviously, Eli Manning threw 452 yards. I mean, that was crazy. But I mean, secondary got torn up in the past game. I mean, they have 3 great wide receivers. Ruben Randall's a wide receiver on the rise, but obviously you don't play them. More than twice a year, and already one's over. So the rest of our division, Eagles, all they have is Deshaun Jackson, and all the Redskins have is Pierre Garçon. Trying to think about anything else I'm missing about this Cowboys game. Been having a hard time remembering shit since I've been sick the last few days. I'm almost 100%, but about 69% right now. I wish I could take some phone calls in and see what people have to say, but I don't know. Right now, I just can't remember anything. I guess you can't really talk about much. It's only been one game, but good win, good week. On to week 2 next week. And all I gotta say is, how about them Cowboys?